Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available New Year's 1987, the album Dad, Shimmy, Shimmy, AF. Someday, the one you gave away will be the only one you're wishing for. Beast! I wanted to do a little Mariah Carey today. I wanted to do a little Mimi for y'all, okay? Someday! Do you guys watch American Idol? And then that one person tries to do Mariah Carey and you're like, no, you're not going to Hollywood, okay? Just think again, cause I won't need your love anymore. I love Mariah Carey so much. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this? But do you really think that you can get this at first you dissed us? Now you want to kiss this. Tell them, girls. Shimmy, shimmy. Too late, you missed this. Why? Because we need a man that's swift, quick, and clever, ready at the drop of a dime to do whatever, not trying to front or fake to save face, because I'm with that day, anytime, with that any place. Tell him, Jay. You want this? Beast. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Yes, little mega mix for you today. How are you guys doing? Well, my day is not going as planned. Today was going to be a pool day. My neighbor took the entire day off today so that we could go to the pool. But I got up earlier than I usually get up, and took Boo Radley outside, and it is overcast, it is sprinkling, and it's about 79 degrees today. It's not pool weather today. And that must be because I think for the majority of the people that I know, it's their kids' first day back to school, because I rolled through the Facebook today, and it's like every picture is like, Judy's first day of first grade. Judy's first day of pre-kindergarten. I mean, like, I'm seeing like 2-year-olds going to school. I think parents make this shit up. No, I do, okay? Because they just want to get the boards, you know. Now it's like the whole thing. They got the boards that say, you know, like, welcome Judy Smith to kindergarten, all this kind of stuff. I think parents are dumping their kids off. I think they're just making this stuff up, okay? No, truly, I do. And it's like, this is what's so funny to me is, when I was growing up, we didn't do this first day of school picture shit. Did you guys do this? We didn't do the first day of school picture stuff. It is so funny to me now. I mean, it kind of makes me, to be honest with you, a little nostalgic, because now I'm seeing these people. It's like my friends, it's like their kids, it's like they're seniors in high school. And I'm like, I literally remember before you were pregnant, you know? And it's kind of sad. It kind of like breaks my heart a little bit. I'm like, damn, you are getting kind of old, you know? But then I see like friends of mine that are like 5 years older than me, and their child's going to first grade. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not that old then, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it cracks me up so much because the seriousness that goes into these pictures, like of the outfits and the hair done and the bows in the hair and how they have to look, and that they have to look perfect and all this kind of stuff. And I know the parents love it, you know? I was talking to my friend on the phone last night, and she was telling me about how her son, he doesn't go back to school until the end of August. But anyway, I think he's in 6th grade, and he's having like a sleepover this weekend. He hasn't had any sleepovers this whole summer. This is like his first sleepover, right? And she's like, I'm already trying to get my mind ready for it. She's like, it's one person that's coming over. They're literally going to play video games and have pizza, right? And she's like just trying to get herself ready for it. I'm like, enjoy these moments because they go by so fast, you know? Like, I can remember when I was like, you know, 35 and whatever. Well, my mom passed away when I was 35. So let's say 34. When I was like 34, my mom would still say to me, you know, I can remember when you were just my little guy, you know, and you were running around the yard and stuff like that. And time goes so fast. It really does, you know? And that's why one of my goals for 2024 is to live in the present and to just take each day and be grateful for each day. And I make jokes about it, you know, I make jokes about the everybody going back to school and the pictures and stuff like that. But, you know, it really was kind of endearing to see this morning when I was looking through all that stuff and everybody getting really excited about it, you know. And I have friends of mine that, like, their last child is, you know, a senior in high school, and they're like, I mean, this is like my 16th child going, I don't know what, I'm like, okay, aren't you ready for some time alone in your house? But so, you know, like, I'm kind of happy when my husband goes to work in the morning. I can't imagine having 5 kids around the house. But anyway, so, you know, but time does go fast. And it's like, you don't even really realize it until you're older. Like, I mean, I heard people say it when I was younger, you know, when I was in, like, my 20s, you know, like, all the old folk would say things like, you know, oh, time goes so fast, and before you know it, you wake up one day and you're, like, 50 and whatever. And now I'm 52, and it does. And, like, time goes so fast, you know? And yeah, and you just gotta live in the moment a little bit. So, someday, the one who got away will be the only one you're wishing for. I love Mariah Carey so much. She does. She tells some truths, doesn't she? That's what my good Judy and I, we used to say back in the day about all these people we used to love. I used to love that song. The summer that I spent with him the most was when Estelle came out with that. Do you remember that song, American Boy? I think was what that song was. I loved it. But anyway, he made me these CDs because he lived in Denver, so I would go out there and visit him. And then we would drive around, we listened to all this music, like Climax, Meeting in the Ladies' Room. I love that song so much. But anyway, we would talk about, like, Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight and these people telling truths. Because, like, when they sing, you know, their songs, they, like, tell the truth. Like, I mean, they got some truths to tell, you know what I mean? Like, they've lived some life, right? And Mimi, she does that a little bit, you know, that one line right there, okay, in the song Someday. You know, the one that got away will be the only one you're wishing for. I did have this one moment where I had this ex of mine, I'll never forget. It was when I was first started dating Alex, and we were standing in this bar in Indianapolis called Talbot Street. It doesn't exist anymore, and we were in the upstairs part of it. And this ex of mine came up. I thought this was like the biggest compliment in the entire world, right? And he came up to me. Well, this has actually happened to me twice, but the first time it happened to me, it was my first ex that I claim, and he came up to me, and he was actually dating somebody else at the time, and I was single, and he goes, I miss you so much. He was like, and he was, you know, he had maybe imbibed a few drinks at this point, but he was like, you always kept the apartment so clean, and he was like, you were always so organized, and I thought, well, that's something to miss about somebody. But then when I started dating Alex, my other ex came up to me, and he was like, he goes, I knew that I was letting somebody good get away, and I was like, oh my God, like, that means so much to me. But you did, you know? But you did, Blanche. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? I'm a little tired because over in my vlog, people, like, they always recommend shows for me to watch over there. And so last night, for those of you that do not know, I have a channel called Peter Watches TV where I cover all TV shows, reality TV shows, the trending TV shows, true crime. I cover it all over there, right? And I do reactions to it. And so I started last week a shark movie club. We're watching all the shark movies, the scary ones, the canon movies like Jaws, the real scary ones, and then the real stupid ones like Sharknado and Sharks of the Corn. That's what it's called. Anyway, this week's pick was called No Way Up, and it came out this year, and I didn't know anything about it. If you want to watch it, it's on AMC. I think it's an AMC original. So anyway, I watched it last night. Oh my God, I was texting my friend. I'm like, I'm in panic mode. Like, this is like my worst nightmare. So these people are going to Cabo San Lucas. That was the first problem, okay? You shouldn't want to go to Cabo San Lucas. You can't even, like, go swimming in the beaches and stuff like that because it's too wavy. It's like Surf Central, right? So anyway, but they were going to Cabo San Lucas, and the plane goes down in the ocean. That's my number one greatest fear. It's why I don't like to fly over the ocean, okay? Number two, the plane is like sitting on the bottom of the ocean floor, right? It's about to go over into this cavern, and then all these sharks start circling around them and coming into the plane and eating people on the plane and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God. This movie, I have to tell you, so I'm giving it, like, I'm rating it on a scale of 1 to 10 fins, and, I can't tell you what, you have to wait for my video on my Peter Watches TV channel. So I watched that last night, but then I'm like, I need a new thriller to watch, and all these people keep on recommending Dark to me, that's on Netflix, and so I started watching Dark last night, and I'm like 3 episodes in, and I remembered why, when I started it, I remembered why I, like, had watched, like, 20 minutes of an episode, and I was like, I can't do this. And it's because it's all dubbed. I think it's like a German TV show. And so it's all dubbed. And the last dubbed show I watched was that, it was really good. It was a Christmas limited series. It was, like, 6 episodes that took place, like, in a Norwegian airport. Do you guys remember this? And they all got, like, there was this blizzard. That was fantastically done. I don't really mind shows that are dubbed or subtitled and stuff like that. But, like, if it's, like, so obvious or the voices are so bad when it's dubbed, I can't do it. But the dark is, like, dubbed really, really well. I almost was gonna, like, turn it off and just watch the subtitles. But, like, the voices to the dub, I mean, it's fantastically dubbed. So anyway, I'm, like, 3 episodes in. This show is, I mean, I don't know why I waited so long to watch this show. It is so spooky scary. So I stayed up a little late last night, but I got up today to go to the pool, like I said. And, yeah, it's not a pretty pool day today. In fact, my neighbor texted me and she said, here she is this morning, she got up at 8:35 a.m. I did not. And she texted me, LOL, lovely day for the pool. And I texted her back and I said, I know. So we're not going to the pool today. But anyway, I am going to film a video over here. Obviously, I'm filming this video. And then I might film another video or two and then do my vlog. And then I'm going to take a long walk and watch Dark tonight. I'm really excited about that. So I put up, now I told you, okay, I warned you guys, if you want to be in on the polls and the questionnaires and all that kind of stuff, like I'm kind of like the census lady now because I'm asking lots of questions. People always ask me, they're like, why haven't you done another census lady video? I don't think people really get, like, I think that TikTok and Instagram and all these people trying to be funny have kind of, like, ruined shit for the rest of us. Because, like, there's all these, like, HOA, people are coming up with this fake HOA shit. I literally live in an HOA. You cannot make this stuff up, okay? I mean, we're having an election in a month. And I talked about it, like, I think it was yesterday or the day before in my vlog. I talked about how this one woman has wanted to be the president for the longest time, and the president's overwhelmed, and she kind of, like, wants to step down. And I'm like, just give it to this other woman because she's been the she's been a landscaping manager for, like, 15 years, and she is, I mean, she walks down the street with her clipboard, and she's like, I'll never forget, I was sitting on my front porch, she walked by the front porch, did not look at me, was looking straight ahead, walked down the front porch, or in front of my street, up my driveway, didn't look at me, not once, okay? This was like several years ago. Now I keep up on the walkway, like the walkway's done, like right away. And then she walked like up the walkway and like literally got like 5 feet in front of me before she raised her head. And she looked around like this and she goes, what are we gonna do? You cannot make this stuff up. I mean, if you live in a homeowners association like I do, this stuff is real. And it is funny when I see people that are kind of like joking about it, unless you really live in it and it's like the real deal, right? And so that's the first thing. The other thing is that I see all these people doing jokes about the census people and all this kind of stuff. That video that I did about the census lady, that was 100% real. Like, that actually happened. Like, she moved her car in so that my husband couldn't get out, and she kept on saying, you know, this will leave us lots of time for conversation. She was a really, really lonely lady that just did not know when to stop, is what it was, okay? And if she called me again, I don't think she's working for the census anymore, but if she called me again, or if the census contacted me again, I would, of course, do a census video, okay? But I'm not going to just make up one. It's like the post office video that I did years and years and years ago. It was my post office rant video that I did, where I'm, like, standing in the post office, and there's this woman behind me doing it. It's where the fences comes into play. For those of you that have watched for a long time ago, fences. And it's this woman in front of me. It's where Jane and Vivian originated from, the drama phone, Jane and Vivian. And it was this woman, and she was sitting in front of me, and like her hunter boots like matched her coat, and she was like perfectly coiffed and all this kind of stuff. And she's talking on the cell phone. And while she's talking on the cell phone, she's like inviting this friend of hers over for adult cocktails, I think is what she said, or adult something. And she was like, she kept on talking about this movie Fences. And the woman behind me was doing this truly, I mean, this is, you know, hand to God, this is a true story, okay? And the woman behind me was doing the crossword out loud, okay? And she was like, all I remember about it is, I mean, I haven't watched the video in years and it happened years ago, but all I remember is she kept on like, she would say something like, 12th month of the year, 3 letters. And then she'd go, January, February, March, May. And I'm like, April, you missed April. And she couldn't get it, right? And so finally I was like, December. And so anyway, this went on like, I mean, I was stuck in this post office forever. And people are like, why do you not do post office rants anymore? Well, when I go into the post office now, I know the people that work there. If they see me standing in their line, they're like, Peter, just come up here. We'll grab your stuff for you. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't have to stand in line anymore. I don't know if they watch my post office rant. And so that now they just pull me out of line. I don't know. I always just have my yellow card in my hand. That's what you get in your post office box if you have to go to the window to pick up stuff. So anyway, anyway, oh, and today was supposed to be Cousin Fun Day too, but my cousin Caroline has too many things to do because she had a pool birthday party yesterday. So she took off yesterday to go to a pool birthday party. My cousin and I, we had not been to the pool not one time this summer. And when the summer started, she said, this is going to be the summer of the pool. And we have not been to the pool together one time this entire summer. We'll probably close the pool together like we did last year. But anyway, so yeah, I was just going to make my vlog today and be at the pool all day long. But since that's not happening, I thought, why not a drama video? So I posted up, like, oh, this is what I was going to say. Over on my, I told y'all, I warned you guys, okay? If you want to be part of the questionnaire and the polls and all that kind of stuff, then you need to follow my Instagram because I post stuff over there. I also post the cutest, like, rescue squirrels and rescue dog stuff in the entire world. So you're going to want to follow my Instagram. But last night, I posted this picture of these gnomes living underneath the earth. I love this artist so much. I can't pronounce her name, but I love her. She's so, everything about her, I love. Everything she posts, I reshare. Hold on a second. Let's get back. What is going on? Okay. Oh, here I put on the No Way Up, that movie, and I said, this is freaking me out. Here it is. What's her name? Eugenia Norca. I love her so much. Her pictures are so pretty. So anyway, I put this thing up and I put, for an unpopular opinions video, give me names. Any names. Name them. I put, name them, like Sutton Strack from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Name them. Name them. So I thought that I would just have you guys ask me, like, people that you wanted to know what I thought about, and I would just go through and I would tell you. It's funny because yesterday when I was doing that video about, like, you guys asked me what topics you want me to talk about, there were so many things I didn't even mention in my video because so many people asked me about things. I had no clue what they were, okay? I mean, literally, they would ask me names. They'd be like, the scandals. I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Who is this person that you're talking about? I've never in my life heard of this person. And I will say this, like, I do talk about the same 5 or 6 people over here, you know? But I do keep up with, like, watching, you know, what's going on in, you know, social media and things like that. I mean, I do pretty much follow. I mean, if something's going on, I kind of know what's going on. One of the things I do is I kind of ask myself, number one, Peter, are you interested in talking about this? Like, you think it's like a funny topic, an important topic? Do you think it's an important discussion? The other thing I ask myself is, do you think the people that are watching your videos, your audience, are they going to be interested in it at all, right? Like yesterday I did the video about Brooke Schofield, and the video is like, I mean, obviously not a lot of people were like, I don't even know who this person is. Honestly, when I do my Robbie D. Christie videos, a lot of people are like, I don't even know who Robbie D. Christie is. I've never heard of her before. So a lot of the people that came to my channel found me over talking about, like, Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, Manny MUA, Trisha Paytas, Shane Dawson, Toddy Westbrook, all that kind of stuff, right? So when I talk about those people, I think that's who people want to hear on my channel. But if there's people that you guys want me to talk about, please put it in the comment section below. A lot of people after my video yesterday, because I talked about Amberlynn Reid, they asked me to do, like, a more in-depth video about Amberlynn Reid. Here's the thing, okay? Okay, so I covered Amberlynn Reid and Amy Slayton years ago when I started on YouTube. I would do a video here about Amberlynn Reid. I would do a video there. This was really before the commentary channels on Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty and Chantal Foodie Beauty. Like, all those people got really started. There was, like, Zachary Michael had just started. I think he had been around for, like, when I did my first Amberlynn Reid video, I think he had been around, like, 6 months or a year or something like that. But, like, there weren't really a lot of commentary channels, like, fully devoting their attention to Amberlynn Reid. So I made this video about Amberlynn Reid. I made a couple videos about her. I did one where she was showing her kitchen. She was cooking something on her kitchen. And she said something in there about how good it smelled. And I said, I bet it smells like day-old stew. I still get comments about that on my videos, right? And then there was another video when she was dating Destiny. And it was like October 15th. And she had bought all of Destiny's Christmas presents at Walmart. And so she had Destiny open all of her presents. At the end of it, she said, I'll probably buy her all new Christmas presents because it's only October 15th. And I just, the insanity of Amberlynn Reid, I lived for. But at that time, okay, at that time, it was very funny. Like, she was doing these hauls, but she was being sincere about it. Like, I can remember her buying like bags of candy and being sincere about like these hauls. At that time too, I think she was like 300 pounds, right? And so 350 pounds, something like that. She was doing like these candy hauls. I can remember when her and Destiny both got jobs at the factory. And was it Destiny? I don't even know. She's had so many girlfriends since then. But I think it was Destiny. And they both got jobs at the factory. And there was like one video. This was the start of the torrid hauls. And she would start the torrid hauls and she would buy this stuff. And she would say, oh, this is cute and that's cute and whatever. And it was like, you know, and she was serious about it. And then she did this whole video about like her and Destiny, and they were going to start these jobs. I think it was at a factory, if I'm right. I don't know. And they had these two, if I remember correctly, they had these two guys that they lived with at the time, or a guy or one guy, or it was a cousin of hers or something. I don't know. But anyway. And so it was Destiny and her. She would do a lot of these videos where she was just like sitting in the living room talking, or she would be going through a bag or something. And it was kind of relatable. In all honesty, it was kind of like what I love about 1,000 Pound Sisters is like Tammy and Amy just sitting around talking. You know, it's very like Midwest life. It's just like, it's why, you know, there's like so many YouTubers like this that you guys don't even know who they are. And I'll like throw in one of their videos because they're literally just sitting there like going through a bag of stuff. I live for that. I live like for the grocery store hauls and all this kind of stuff. And that's kind of how she was back in the day. And so she did this video, and her and Destiny are talking about working at this factory, and she buys these lunch boxes, and I don't even know what video this is. I mean, this is years ago. And she buys these lunch boxes, and they have these thermoses in it. And Destiny's like, I think I'll just take a pop. And that's what we call soda in the Midwest. And she's like, and at this time, I think she was living in Kentucky, which is like, you know, south of me, like a couple hours south of me. And so she was like, you can't take a soda to the factory. They said no sodas, no pops. And she's like, well, I'll just put it. It was like this whole argument between her and Destiny. And then I stopped kind of like watching her because she did this torrid haul. And that was like the very beginning of it. She pulled this shirt down. It was a dress is what she did. She put this dress on and she said, this is a cute shirt. She pulled it out of her bag and she said, oh, I got this dress. And then she slipped and she said it was a shirt. And that was the beginning of it, where people started calling her out. And then because she was like trolling a little bit because she was starting to get a lot of hate comments. And then that was where the diet started stuff about her talking about constantly dieting. But she would, you know, start a diet and then 3 days later it would be a different diet and then all this kind of stuff. And I check in with her every once in a while. At some point, she showed her AdSense on there, which is actually a violation of terms of service. You're not supposed to show that, but she did. And she showed that she was making like $12,000 a month. And it kind of clicked for me at that point. I was like, this is really all about the money for you. Like, you don't really care. And I had also reached out to her about doing a video. And I said this yesterday in my video. And she said, I don't really care what you say because people are going to hate me anyway. And that was where I realized that she was like really feeding into the hate. At that point, though, I wasn't really making videos about her as much because there were so many commentary channels that had come out that were making videos about Amber Lynn. And so what I realized, I had done a video and I got a lot of backlash on the video because people were like, you don't watch Amber Lynn consistently. And so what I realized was if you literally do not watch every video of Amber Lynn and every live stream of Amber Lynn and things like that and keep up with her, you know, everything that's going on, then it's hard to report on her because something changes in every video. And I have mad respect for the people that cover her because I couldn't do it. Okay. It's too much for me. I have real issues with people that are willing to risk their physical health over $1. And for me, I mean, I don't know, like, it just was a lot for me. And then I went back and I watched, like, 2 years later, and she had gained a lot of weight, and she was doing this video, and I genuinely cared about Amber Lynn. Like, when I started watching her, like, I genuinely cared about her. I can remember, like, doing a video where I compared her to Amy Slayton, because everybody was comparing her to Amy Slayton, and she got so pissed. She was like, I don't know why you're comparing me to Amy Slayton. She was like, Amy's so much bigger than me. I don't know why people are comparing me to Amy Slayton. Well, Amy Slayton's doing good, and, I mean, she's still making some mistakes. But, I mean, I talked to Amy Slayton. I love Amy Slayton. I love Tammy Slayton. You know, I love the Slayton sisters. I love the Slayton family. I love the 1,000 Pound Sisters. And they were smart, see? Because I would say back in the day, if you were smart, you know, you'd do this and you'd do that and whatever, right? And, like, your channel would change and it would grow because people would see oh my God, Amber Lynn's getting healthy. She really cares about this. She really wants to get healthy, and people would be really invested in it, right? And so I thought she would like quadruple her numbers if she did that. She didn't do that. Amy and Tammy Slayton did that. They went on the show. They got the weight loss surgery. They dieted, lost weight to get to weight loss surgery and all this kind of stuff. And people love them. I mean, Tammy Slayton has literally blown up in numbers, you know, as she's lost weight and gotten healthy. I mean, people love Tammy Slayton. And so I think that just goes to prove that being more health conscious and being healthier can help you. The last real video of hers that I kind of like, I mean, I've gone back and watched from time to time, like when she's in the bathroom talking about a girlfriend or whatever, because I'm like, what are they talking about? I want to see this. But she did this video where she was like, this is my exercise I do. And she was like in her living room, and she's like, she goes, I do 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right. Sometimes I go forward, sometimes I go back. I was like, this is so trolling for your audience. This is so trolling for your audience that you're literally saying you're I mean, she did like 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, 1 step forward, 1 step back, and then she's like, I can't do it anymore, I'm too tired. She was totally trolling for, and then pulled out her food that she was going to eat. I was like, this is totally trolling for your audience, and you're risking your physical health over it. And I was somebody that honestly cared about you, and I just can't. Like, I'm out at this point, right? So that's why I don't do Amber Lynn Reid videos anymore. The reason why, I mean, I would do Amber Lynn Reid videos. I would go in and cover what's going on. The problem is that if I went in and I covered Amber Lynn today, there's so much that I don't know that I would get so much wrong. And there are a lot of people out there that are covering every move of hers that know exactly what's going on with her. And I think they're probably better to watch than me. So that's why I don't cover the Amber Lynn Reid stuff anymore. I don't even know how I got into that. But anyway, I put this thing up, said, for Unpopular Opinions video, give me names, name them. And so I got a bunch of names from you guys. Hold on a second. I just went out of it again. Okay, so let's go in here, and I am just going to read down this list as far as I can get, and I will read to you guys the cast of the new season of Surreal Life. I am not currently watching the Surreal Life. I don't even know who the current cast is. I watched the last season, I think maybe the only season of Surreal Life I've ever watched is the one that Manny MUA was on. And I literally watched it because Manny MUA was on. You know, actually, I want to say this because I was thinking about this last night. I think a lot of people think that, like, I have this strong hatred towards Manny MUA. I had this real weird dream last night that I interviewed Shane Dawson. I was like, he and I, like, were in the same place, and he was like, you have all these questions, you always say this stuff about me. Like, let's just sit down, let's just film it. And I was like, okay, but, like, no Ryland, no, like, nobody there. My husband's not, it's just gonna be you and I with a camera. And he was like, okay. And I was, like, asking these questions, like, I mean, I was, like, really asking the questions, like, do you really think that you're canceled? Like, why do you feel like you're canceled when you have all this kind of stuff? Like, what do you really think about the allegations that came out against you? Like, what would you do? And that's the thing. Like, if I sat down with these people, those are the questions I would ask. This is why I think it's bullshit when people sit down and do these interviews with people and they don't ask them those questions. Like, why are you even doing the interview? Like, this is why I had such an issue with Spill Sesh having Manny in her video, okay? Manny MUA has been at the core of so much drama. You're a drama channel. I think that's a natural question to ask. Why you wouldn't ask those questions. You don't even allude to those questions, okay? You're just so excited because he was the first person you made a video about, suggestively, but that's not actually even the truth, right? So it was this full circle moment for you, and then at the end of it, you say you're going to go out to a club. You know, I think this is the thing. People think that I really hate Manny MUA, and I was thinking about this last night, because I was like, I thought I brought it up here, but I didn't. But I've been using, do I have it over here? No, I don't. I've been using lip balms instead of lip gloss, right? And I was like, I need to find a really good lip gloss. And I won't use Manny's because I'm not going to continue to support somebody that will not come out and address issues with Colleen Ballinger and openly supports James Charles. I just won't do that, okay? And I'm probably, I feel a little bit less about that than I used to, but Manny MUA, his arrogance in not addressing it is at all. Like, I mean, even like, I have to be honest with you, his alignment with James Charles doesn't surprise me because he always has. And we even talked about that on the phone. I have less of an issue with that than the fact that he and Laura in a professional setting on a podcast came out and addressed the Colleen Ballinger situation, added a voice to it, a very negligent response. This is one of the reasons why there are certain things I won't talk about over here, because if I don't know about it, it's negligent for me to address it and put my voice to it. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't do their research. They never even came out and said they didn't do their research. They just took down the podcast. They never addressed it. They never apologized for it. They never said anything about it. And Manny in that podcast said that he sided with Colleen Ballinger and that he felt bad for her, you know? And so, I mean, that's the last I know about where Manny is. And Manny's done a lot of problematic videos with Colleen Ballinger. I think Manny should come out and actually address his own participation in the Colleen Ballinger situation and his problematic videos that he did with her. But we're not going to get that from him. This is going to stop. Hold on a second. Okay, so I think a lot of people think that I really dislike Manny. I really liked Manny for a long, long time. I don't dislike him. If I saw Manny tomorrow, I mean, if I was, you know, through the grocery store or just happened to be in the same space as him, I'd be like, hey, Manny, how are you? I don't think he would talk to me, but I would be like, hey, Manny, how are you? I have no issue. People ask me all the time. They're like, if I saw Colleen Ballinger on the street and she was standing there, she kind of like looked at me and be like, hey, Colleen, how are you? You know, if she wanted to start talking to me, I'd say, hey, listen, you want to sit down and talk about this? We can talk about this on camera. I'm going to ask you these questions on camera, but I don't have time for this today. Don't be wasting my time. I've had enough influencers waste my time with their coercive, manipulative bullshit. I'm not doing it anymore. You want to waste my time on camera. I would say the same thing to Manny. I would say, hey, Manny, I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you, you know? And if you wanted to start getting into the weeds about what I had to say, I'd say, I don't even address things. Like on Twitter, I don't respond to stuff. I don't really respond to stuff in comments unless it's like, you know, somebody says, I like your hat, and I'm like, thanks. I don't really get into it. I bring it to video. I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it in a YouTube video, okay? So I'm not going to have some side conversation. And I can tell you again, if one of these people calls me and says, I'd like to have an off-camera conversation, I'm going to say, sorry, I don't do that anymore. Period. I'm not, okay? But I don't hate Manny. And in fact, last night I was thinking about it. I was like, those, and I will say this, those lip glosses, that Celine Lunar Beauty lip gloss is, I mean, I am so disappointed in Manny. I am so disappointed in him. But I will tell you this, and go buy him if you need to, if that's what you want to do. I cannot put money in his pocket. But that Lunar Beauty Celine lip gloss is hands down, and I have used a lot. I mean, I've probably used hundreds of lip glosses in my life. I don't know what formula it is. I don't know what he did to that, but that is the most fantastic, long-lasting, good-smelling, beautiful color lip gloss I have ever used in my entire life. In my entire life. In my entire life. It is fantastic. It makes me sad that I can't use it anymore. I'm not gonna be a phony and say I don't support the man until he comes out and addresses this and then uses lip glosses, you know? And I will say this. Somebody reached out to me recently and they said that I noticed that you unfollowed me. And I said, yeah, I did. And I said, I appreciate you asking me because nobody really wants to ever ask me. And they said, well, can I ask you why you unfollowed me? And I said, yeah, it's real simple. I said, you know, that I just didn't understand the need to continue to follow Colleen Ballinger after all the allegations that are come out. It's not just the allegations, it's the fact that she chooses not to address it. You can follow who you want to follow, but I can't continue to support people that are going to support kids being hurt, and people are just okay with that. Like, it's not just an opinion that I hold on YouTube. It's an opinion that I hold in life. And the person said, I totally respect that, and I could, you know, unfollow her, you know, today. When I said, no, you need to do what you need to do for you, and I need to do what I need to do for me. I'm not demanding anything of anybody. I don't, you know, I would love for Manny to come out and address it. I would love for all these people to come out and address it, because it would help me understand, and I think help other people understand their allegiance and why they do. You know, like Manny tried to explain to me the whole James Charles situation. I wish he would get on camera and explain to his audience the same way he explained to me, because I don't think it would make any sense to you guys. I mean, his excuse was, if you knew James behind the scenes, like I know James, you would know he's not that person. And I said, but Manny, there's factual evidence to the contrary. Well, I know, but I go, but do you? I mean, like, I don't have bullshit conversations with these people. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe in my first year, like, when people would, like, reach out to me, I was kind of shined on by them. The only time I've really backed down to somebody is when Shane Dawson reached out to me over the TanaCon video that I made, and he was so pissed about the TanaCon video. He's like, this is my moment to shine, and people have been coming to me for years on YouTube, and people have been so hard for me, and this is why one moment, I mean, I could literally read you the DMs, okay? I think the other question I would ask him, well, and anyway, so I was like, you know what, Shane? Fine. I said, your video was fantastic. I was real sarcastic about it. But I think the other question I would say to him is, you know, like, it's interesting to me that your hatred for me began with my poor review of Joey Graceffa's book that I did. Because behind the scenes, that's what he told everybody. Did you see, on Goodreads, did you see Peter's review of Joey Graceffa's book on Goodreads? Did you see it? Yeah, I said it was formulated trash is what I said. I don't even think I said trash. I said it was just formulated. I mean, there was no creative ideas to it whatsoever. There's not, right? He had a co-writer, which I later called a ghostwriter, and people were like, it's not a ghostwriter. He had a co-writer. He didn't write the book. The other person wrote the book. That person's name is listed on the book. He came up with some of the ideas. The other person wrote the book. I know that. I've talked to other people that know Joey that use the same publishing company that he did. I know that for a fact. Joey didn't write those Children of Eden books, okay? But Joey and Daniel have no problem coming out and talking shit about Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson today. So Shane Dawson had no problem getting upset with me over a book review that I did about Joey Graceffa, but now they're calling them sociopaths. Well, girl, I'm not a big believer in karma, but apparently karma done bit you in the ass. So anyway, let's get into this. So somebody asked me, the only season of Surreal Life that I've ever watched, I think, is the one with Manny. And Manny was actually really, really good on it. Tamar Braxton was on it. I can't really remember a lot of people. Oh, Stormy Daniels was on it. Anyway, that season was good. I wasn't so taken with the show. It's kind of like, Surreal Life is very similar to me, like House of Villains and The GOAT. I finished House of Villains. My husband and I watched it. The GOAT, which I started watching, and I didn't finish it because it was so bad. So, Surreal Life was just kind of boring to me a little bit. Somebody said Perez Hilton. I don't really think much about Perez Hilton, if you want to know the truth. I mean, back in the day, I used to watch a lot, or I used to read his articles on a pretty regular basis that he would put out. I mean, he was kind of the TMZ at the time, right? And he was really the first person that ever did that. I will say this, Perez Hilton was so creative in coming up with what he was doing at that time. It's interesting to me that he seems to be struggling reinventing himself. He's obviously got some creative, I don't know, if it were me, if I were Perez Hilton, I mean, he seems so worried about what people think about him, like celebrities. If it were me, knowing what he knows, I would put a tell-all book out about the celebrities, and I would get back to the top. I mean, so years ago, we have a friend of ours that lives in, well, we have several friends of ours that live in Las Vegas, and we were in Las Vegas, and he reached out to this friend of ours and said, Perez knew me from doing YouTube videos and stuff, and said, Perez, like, wanted you guys to come see, I can't remember the show, it was a Chippendale show, and Perez wants to meet Peter, and blah, 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 whatever. I thought it was nice, okay? And so, I'll never forget, because I reached out to a couple drama channels, and they're like, do not meet with Perez Hilton. I was like, I don't know what to say, you know? And so we got these seats. We took Alex's cousin, Maya. It was so funny because Maya showed up and she was like, this is so... We were literally in the second row. It was Alex and I think there was one other guy in the very back. The rest was women. I've never seen anything like this before in my entire life. Okay, seriously. And I've been to some strip clubs before. So I've lived with dancers before. And so... So these women in front of us like turn around when Maya gets there, and they were like, "Oh my God, have you ever been before?" And Maya's like, "No," kind of acting like this is stupid. She was ordering a drink, Alex was ordering a drink, and stuff like that. And these women are like, "Well, when you come out, you're not gonna think. When they come out, you're not gonna think it's so stupid. And let me know like which one is your favorite." And Maya's just like, so the women turn around. These women in front of us were really, really nice. So Perez comes out. He like MCs the whole show and all this kind of stuff. He was dressed up like circus, like Britney Spears and circus and whatever. And so he comes out and he like MCs the whole show. Okay, we're 5 minutes into the show and these men start coming out on stage and they're literally like in suits, okay, at first. They like come on the stage in like suits. Maya and these two women, I mean, they're like, oh my God, he's mine. Oh my God, no, he's mine. He's mine. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. It was hilarious. But anyway, we were leaving. We kind of waited around for a second because my husband was like, Perez wants to meet you. He was the one that arranged the tickets. Like, let's just do this, right? And I was like, okay. And so we waited around. So finally we start leaving. And we got outside. I don't remember how long we waited. It wasn't that long, but the place was empty. We get outside, and our friend texts me and said, Perez really wants to meet you and take a picture with you. He's waiting. And I was like, okay. So we went back inside, and we took this picture with Perez Hilton. I haven't talked to Perez Hilton since then. I don't really know much about Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton tried to be a drama channel for a cute moment. I don't know. It's interesting to me. Like, I don't love a lot of his takes. When I stopped watching him, I will tell you, was that he outed several people. And I know that he has addressed that. He has come out and addressed his outing people. But I took a huge issue with that at the time that he did it. And the other thing was that Alex and I used to watch the Chelsea Handler show, like the Roundtable Chelsea Handler. And I'll never forget, he was on it. And this was kind of the moment I was just like, no, you've sold out. I'm done. And he was on there because he was so funny and he would say things that people wouldn't say, right? And he was on the Chelsea Handler Roundtable. And she was asking him stuff, and he wouldn't say it because he was going to all the parties, the celebrity parties. If I were Perez Hilton, here, Perez, if you're watching this, here's a little marketing tip for you. You need to write a tell-all. You've been writing that blog for years and years and years. You need to write a tell-all on these people, okay? They don't got your back. You know, and you're battling irrelevancy right now, I guess. Is he big on, somebody will be like, he's got 1 million subscribers on TikTok or something. I'll be like, oh, really? I didn't know. I don't go from the TikTok. Phaedra Parks. Okay, so talk about unpopular opinions. I have always, until the moment on the reunion, loved Phaedra Parks, okay? Phaedra Parks caused so much drama on Atlanta. Atlanta's my favorite Real Housewives franchise ever, okay? She just got her, she's coming back. She just got her peach. It isn't surprising to me, okay, that she got her peach when Kandi left, okay? Kandi's now off. So now Phaedra got her peach. Well, they don't know what to do because they're firing people left and right from all these franchises. So they need some good television. So for those of you that do not know, Phaedra Parks made implications that Kandi and her husband Todd had like drugged Portia, and like, anyway, it was really, really ugly situation, okay? I mean, it's horrible, and she got fired for that. Well, then she was on the Ultimate Girls Trip when she was in Dorinda at the Berkshires. She was good on it. She was fantastic on it. And then she was on Traitors, and she was fantastic on Traitors, and then she's on Married to Medicine now, I think, right? It's interesting to me, this stuff with how Bravo works. Like, Ramona Singer just went through this whole thing where she made all these racist comments. It's like Jax Taylor and Kristen Doty had all these racist allegations, and then they get their own show. It's like Bravo has like a timeout chair, and as long as you sit in it long enough, and then people kind of forget a little bit, then they bring you back because you make good television. They don't really care about the racist statements or the sexual harassment allegations or the homophobia or all that kind of, they don't really care about that stuff. It just puts you in timeout enough. That's an issue that I have with Bravo. I also have an issue with the fact that they all like drink like fish, okay? And I think that they're starting to address that now. But I'm excited to see Phaedra Parks on Atlanta. I just wish Phaedra, like, she's been asked so many times about the situation. I just wish she would come out, and she kind of does, a little bit. I just wish she would, and I don't think it would mean anything to Kandi, honestly, but I just wish she'd take full ownership over it. And I think we might see that in this season of Atlanta. So that's what I think about Phaedra Parks. Phaedra Parks on the Berkshires Ultimate Girls Trip, at one of the breakfasts, she reads this meditation, and it's like her best friend wrote this meditation book, and the meditation book is fantastic. It's very biblical, but if you kind of like, if you don't have an issue with that, then it's fine. But if you kind of read through that, it's one of the most fantastic daily affirmation books I've ever read. I bought it because of Phaedra Parks reading it on there. I loved it. Thoughts on Rob Zombie? I'm not getting this far in this video, am I? Thoughts on Rob Zombie? Well, I had to look it up, because I'm like, is Rob Zombie problematic today? Because I don't know. I love all of Rob Zombie's movies. I've seen all of Rob Zombie's movies, I think except for one, is the Witches of Salem or whatever that one is, the only one. I love all of his movies. I think they're fantastically done. So, funny story about Rob Zombie. So, I had a roommate back in the day. She was my best friend. We lived together for a year. She was a dancer. Her song that she danced to was Living Dead Girl by White Zombie. So, years after that, this was after I got sober and all this kind of stuff, and we were living together, and I was with my first boyfriend, and the three of us lived together, and very normal life. She was working in the corporate world and all this kind of stuff, and she was like, I want to go on tour with a band, and she wanted to go on tour and follow White Zombie, so she did. So, she meets Rob Zombie and hangs out with his wife, who I love, that wife of his and all this kind of stuff. And then she meets this guy that mixes music that had been in a very famous band back in the day, back in the 80s. And she meets this guy, and she ends up marrying him and moving to Berlin, and is now really good friends with Rob Zombie and his wife. So, wish upon a star, I guess. So anyway, no, that was like one of my best friends. That's my friend that we were at the patio in Indianapolis when Courtney Love was with Hole here, and her drummer was dating Drew Barrymore, and I met Drew Barrymore, and I come in and out of the bathroom, and I walked onto the dance floor, and my roommate, the same roommate, was out there doing a dance-off with Courtney Love to Prince's Purple Rain. I mean, you cannot write stuff like this. These are some memories of mine that I love looking back on. Peter Monn. What do I think of Peter Monn? Peter Monn is a really nice guy that tries hard. Too hard sometimes, probably. And maybe cares a little bit too much about what people think and gets it wrong a lot of the time, but tries to learn from getting it wrong. And, you know, just trying to get by. Peter Monn's somebody that's just trying to get by and enjoy each and every moment and live in the moment. That's who Peter Monn is. Jake Paul. I don't think much about Jake Paul. I don't understand the David Dobrik's, the Jake Pauls, the Mr. Beast, the Logan Pauls, all those people. I don't get them. I don't understand the interest in them. I don't understand, like, that whole, like, David Dobrik crew, like, all of that. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on with all that right now. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I've never understood the draw of it. Like, I've literally, to cover for videos, watched David Dobrik's videos. And it's like, they're driving down a street, and there's 8 of them in a car, and they're all laughing, and then they open a door, and, like, somebody falls out of a car, and it's like, what is funny about this to me? Like, I don't, you know, and they're all just like, I mean, I don't know why it's taken people so many years to figure this out about David Dobrik, that David Dobrik never participates in the pranks, that, like, it's David Dobrik literally laughing at all of his friends. And it's not like, this is the thing that's uncomfortable about me, for me, watching David Dobrik. I loved Jackass back in the day with Johnny Knoxville. When you watch Jackass back in the day, they were all in on it. They were all in on the pranks. Like, they were all, like, you know, getting their hands dirty and doing all this kind of stuff. David Dobrik's not like that. David Dobrik took the Jackass model to some degree and formed this vlog squad crew, right? But they're all the ones, I mean, he just stands back and laughs, you know, and everybody thinks he's the one that came up with this brilliant idea. Because he's the one that started the channel. He's the one that started all these things, right? I'm not impressed with David Dobrik at all. At all. I think David Dobrik is talentless, if you want to know the truth. And, you know, honestly, it makes me kind of sad about Jason Nash, because I thought he had a few funny moments. I think Jason Nash, to go out begging for money on TikTok, I mean, girl, seriously. I was at a birthday party. I've shared this before. I was at a birthday party last year for somebody turning 50. And it said, like, famous people that turned 50 on this thing. Jason Nash was listed on there. It said, Jason Nash, comedian. You are on this huge banner that you can get at Party City for being a famous person, celebrity comedian, and you're begging for money on TikTok, okay? Girl, you might make more money on the OnlyFans. I'm just saying that, okay? And you're begging for money on the TikTok. For me, like, that's like, have you literally run out of, like, you don't have any ideas left at all? No ideas left? I mean, I could give you, Jason, call me up. I could give you 100 ideas. That actually makes me really, really sad, you know? I actually think Jason Nash would be really good to start, like, you know, when I was growing up, we had Johnny Carson, we have Jimmy Kimmel, those kind of things, right? Jason Nash would be somebody that would be smart, because he has a lot of connections, right? He would be smart to do, like, a sit-down, not really a podcast, but kind of like a late-night show, where it was, like, every night he did, like, just on a YouTube channel, right? And he could call it Late Night with, I mean, he couldn't call it that, because that's, you know, copywritten or whatever, but he could, you know, call it The Late Show, or that's David Letterman, I guess, but he could call it something, you know, with Jason Nash, and then he could have, like, a side person, and then they could interview, like, 3 up-and-coming celebrities. It would be genius, and he's the perfect age to do it. I mean, see, I just came up with that idea off the fly. You don't have any other ideas, and the thing is that people are going to run out of money to tip you, so at some point, you're not going to make any more money on TikTok, so that's sad to me. Johnny Depp. I don't really think much about Johnny Depp. To be honest with you, the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, I didn't follow that closely, so I don't know that much about it. I will tell you an interesting story, though, and I don't know if there's any fact to this whatsoever. But back in the day, this was long before I got sober, I hooked up with this guy that was from the traveling group of the Will Rogers Follies, and he told me that he had dated Johnny Depp for a long time. But I've never heard any other rumors about Johnny Depp being gay, so I don't know why I believed that then. I think I was like 20 or something like that. All I know is that the hookup was very short because he passed out, and then I raided his minibar of all the alcohol. He was staying at the Omni Hotel downtown. So I don't know. Where you are, I don't even know what your name was. All I know was that you were really cute. I was 20, and you were in the Will Rogers Follies, and I owe you an amends for stealing all of the liquor out of your, your mini bar. So anyway. Okay, Tanya Jean. Oh, I love Tanya Jean. Oh my God, Tanya Jean's my best Judy in the entire world. You know, it's like, I told Tanya the other night, I was saying to her, I keep on seeing, so I've been like screenshotting Instagram things that I see, right? Like inspirational quotes and stuff that I see. And I keep on seeing this one come up that says, pick people that fight for you in rooms you're not in. And I said, Tanya, I was going to just tag you this on Instagram, like send it to her, but I said, I want to say this to you in person. You have always and will always be, and I am for you, the person that fights for me in rooms I'm not in, even when you don't need to. And I just want to say, I love you and I appreciate you. That woman has single-handedly had my back, and I adore her. I adore her family. I adore her son. I adore her husband. I mean, her son calls me Uncle Pete Pete. I mean, she's been a fantastic mother. She's been a fantastic friend, aunt. Tanya is somebody that I aspire to be like, you know? She's somebody that I want to be like in life. And the way that she treats people, and the way that she looks at the world, the way that she stands up for herself, the way that she sets boundaries for herself, and the way that she is unafraid, but when she is afraid, she's not afraid to admit it. I love that woman with all my heart. Okay, Markiplier. I always pronounce his name wrong. Is it... I don't know how I used to pronounce it. Whatever his name is. He reminds me of Keanu Reeves. I think he's a good-looking guy. I don't really know much more about him than that. Is he still doing videos? I don't know. I don't know anything about Markiplier whatsoever. I think he looks like Keanu Reeves. That's what I think. I think if Keanu Reeves had a son, he would look like Markiplier. Is Markiplier still making videos? I guess I should look. Hold on a second. Is that even how you pronounce his name? I think I looked it up one time because I was like... oh, he's like really close to my husband's age. He does look like Keanu Reeves. I guess he's posting stuff 2 weeks ago, so I don't know anything about him whatsoever. Is he problematic? I don't know. The Diddy stuff I haven't kept up with. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I'm thinking about doing this video about her because apparently she has violated her parole, and they're saying that she's going to be sent back to prison because of her contacting a convict in prison. Okay, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I have had 900 friends of mine that have been in prison for multiple years, okay, for multiple offenses, and have come out and lived lives and whatever. I've said this a million times. I have no interest in Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I will continue to cover her over the channel because this is a drama channel. She did her time, let her live her life. No parole officer is going to send Gypsy Rose Blanchard back to prison for the crime that she did. I mean, they take all that into consideration. They're not going to send her back to prison for talking to a convict, okay? Not to mention... everybody on parole does it. I'm just going to tell you right now. Everybody on parole does it. I don't know if there's this misconception that people on parole do everything they're supposed to do, like not date people that are on probation. I mean, I feel like I have 20 friends that have done that, right? I bet I've had 100 friends that have done that. Teresa, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. I don't think much about her. I don't watch New Jersey. Robin Brown. Well, I'm only on season 8 of Sister Wives, so she's the fourth wife. Like, up till now, she's really seemed very nice and tried to get everybody along, but she seems like she's going to start being a little bit problematic, and people have already told me that. So anyway, I already know that. Devin, Bachelorette, current season. Okay, I have not watched last night's episode, so I don't know, and please don't ruin it for me, but I really, really like Devin. But he does seem rather petty to me with the other guys, especially Sam, but I kind of live for it because I don't like Sam. So I love when he just like, it's like the back and forth. Like Sam's like, you're not ever going to get the last word. And he's like, uh-huh. And then Sam's like, see? And he's like, yeah. I mean, it's just this back and forth. Devin kind of reminds me of my brother-in-law, Juan, a little bit. So I don't know. I like Devin. I will say what I love about Devin is that they did this striptease thing that they had to do, which I thought was interesting because on a Bachelor season, they would never have the women do that. But, like, they did this, like, striptease thing, and Devin came out, and Devin has, like, body issues. He's talked about it. He's lost a lot of weight, and he literally came out in, like, this G-string. And I was like... good for you on the confidence level. Like, he was not afraid to, like, show his body off and, like, the weight loss and the skin and all that kind of stuff. I like Devin. I like Devin a lot. Does he do something real problematic last night? If he does, I don't know about that yet. Meredith. Meredith who? Meredith Marks. The rumors, the rumors. Okay, Chapel Roan. All right, here's a real unpopular opinion. I tried, y'all. I really did. Okay, I tried so hard with Chapel Roan. Chapel Roan sounds to me kind of like an edgier Taylor Swift mixed with like Kate Bush and that Florence and the Machine, okay? I have tried to listen to her music, okay? And I've read the articles about her and all this kind of stuff. I get everything about her, okay? I get the name change and where she grew up, and I love somebody with a story, and I love that she's a storyteller through her music, just like Taylor Swift. I think in today's time, especially with people trying to find themselves and how they identify and all that kind of stuff, I think that Chapel Roan is... I don't think her music is bad. I think her music is good. It's just not my taste. Like, I haven't found one of her songs I'm just like, this is, like, I could listen to this over and over and over again. I think she's today, I feel like Taylor Swift was so big and blowing up so much, right? And that it was almost kind of like society was asking for a more queer-friendly, more, I don't know, it was kind of, Chapel Roan's kind of the response to the moral panic that's going on in the world. I saw said something like that, and I agree with that, right? But I'll just be honest with you, like, I haven't really found a lot. I mean, I see people post her shit all the time. It's interesting because she's been around for a long time. Now people are posting her stuff that, like, songs of hers that came out, like that Pink Pony song or whatever, like, people are like, oh my god, I live for this song. Well, the song's been out for 4 years. So you just live for this song now that you found it. You know? I mean, I get that. I do the same thing with music, right? But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not a bullshit artist. I mean, I really, people were like, you'll love Chapel Roan, you'll love her, you'll love her, you'll love her. I really tried to love her. She's not, I don't know. Maybe she'll grow on me at some point. I'll hear a song and I'll be like, yeah, that's it. But of today, I like her. I like what she stands for. I like her story of where she comes from. I mean, she talks about coming from this very conservative religious background and moving to Los Angeles and finding herself. I get all that. I love all that. I love somebody with a story and telling their story and sharing their growth and finding herself and then coming out with a new album. I get it. I get all that. I love that about her, right? The music doesn't hit for me. I'm kind of somebody with music. It's very strange. Like, somebody said in my video yesterday when I named my top 3, they said they thought Whitney would be in my top 3. Whitney is hands down in my top 3. I don't even know how I didn't think of Whitney yesterday. I have no issue with Chapel Roan, but I just, like, I haven't heard any of her music yet, and I've listened to a lot of her music that I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, I mean, I'm totally sold. It's like, it all just kind of, like, falls a little short for me. I don't know. I really, to be honest with you, other than what she stands for, I don't get the hype of the music. It confuses me, you know? Chloe Morello. Oh, where's she at? I haven't talked about her in forever. Angela from Big Brother. She's a producer plant, 100%. She's a producer plant. I don't know. I liked her at first. Now I don't. Ariana Grande. Saw her at Ultra Music Festival. She's really, really short. Very pretty in person, though. I don't really have any thoughts about Ariana Grande. I like some of her music. Emily D. Baker. I have to be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of Emily's lives. I don't, almost never. But Emily has been a very, very dear friend to mine, has checked on me on a regular basis. I mean, literally like every 2 to 3 weeks, checks in on me and was like, I mean, through the accident, through pancreatitis, through PP passing away, through everything, has always checked on me and has just been such a genuinely good friend, and I judge people how they treat me. And we've had a lot of really serious conversations about a lot of very serious things, and she's asked me things and I've asked her things. About our stances on things, and yeah, Emily has been a phenomenal person to me. I think she's probably one of the people that I've been closest with through the years on YouTube, and I think she reached out to me originally. I don't know. She always sends me stuff that she sees first, and it's interesting because she's a Bravo. She loves Bravo. She does all that kind of stuff. We were going to go to, I was going to meet her at BravoCon this year, but BravoCon is not coming back till 2025. But she also is very close watcher of like all the beauty influencer drama and stuff. She sometimes sends me stuff before I even knew that it happened. Not very often. But like if it's something like a court document, like the Toddy stuff she sent me recently. Josh David Evans, Colleen Ballinger's ex. I really, really like Josh David Evans. Josh David Evans, you know, he's a couple years sober. I've been sober for 29 and a half years. When I watch him in interviews and when I watch him talk, I can really tell he's doing the deal. I can really tell that he is really trying to work on being a better person. And you know, and trying to take responsibility and accountability for his actions and just trying to be the best version of himself that he can be today. And I congratulate anybody on that. And I congratulate him on his sobriety. And I think that, you know, at the time that he and Colleen broke up, I think that it really, everybody was kind of like, oh, he's the bad guy and blah, blah, blah. Wow. You know, you got out right in time, Josh. And I wish you all the best in your life. He seems like a really nice guy to me. Somebody asked me about Swoop. I love Swoop. I love Swoop. I love her for being herself. I'm not sure, does Swoop identify by they, them? Swoop might identify by they, them pronouns. So if Swoop identifies by they, them, I apologize. I love Swoop. I love Swoop's investigative skills. I love Swoop's, I was going to say inability. What's the word I want to look for? Refusal to back down on a situation. Swoop always shows a perspective that I don't think of. And Swoop just mentioned me in a video recently. Oh my God! About Glitter Forever 17. I was like, if I ever thought I was going to make it in a Swoop video, I didn't think it would be over Glitter Forever 17. Chapel Roan, Swoop. The camera stopped. Am I at an hour already? Oh my God. People are asking me about Glitter and Swoop back to back. Let me get one more. Somebody said Brandy Gavlin. Are you talking about Brandy Glanville from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Brandy Glanville. Okay. I know this is a real unpopular opinion. Brandy Glanville is a mess that I feel bad for, that I love to watch from afar. I don't know. There's a part of Brandy Glanville that reminds me of so many people that I've known. There's just a part of her that makes me really, really sad. And I think she's very troubled. And she's fed off this attention for years and years and years, and I don't think she knows what to do without it. And I don't know. She makes me sad. Brandy Glanville actually makes me sad. I think she makes for fantastic television, though. I will say that. Morgan Adams, somebody said she doesn't check the paid promo box. Well, that kind of surprises me because actually Shane and all them really do the paid programming stuff. They disclose appropriately. So if she didn't do that, that surprises me. I haven't watched Morgan Adams in forever. Morgan Adams has really, like, there was a period where I kind of watched some of her videos and whatever. Her kind of like teen angsty. I mean, how old is Morgan Adams now? Because I saw a clip of her not too long ago. I mean, her kind of Morgan Adams, what's her age? This kind of like teen angsty thing that she does. God, it's making me pull all kinds of stuff up. She's 26 years old, and this kind of teen angsty thing that she does. I don't know, like, but it's like teen angsty, like, oh my God, like, my life's falling apart, but let me show you my $10 million home barn that I just built. I'm like, girl, you were literally handed a career. Now, I will say this. I do believe she was handed a career by Shane Dawson. I think that her ability to retain that career was on Morgan Adams. I think she is talented. I think Morgan Adams is a fantastic storyteller. I think she is willing to share parts of herself that other people are unwilling to do. I think that's what makes Morgan Adams unique. I can remember years ago in meetings, friends of mine that were her age were like, I love Morgan Adams. Like, Morgan Adams, like, she tells stories just like I do. And I think there's a vulnerability and a relatability about Morgan Adams that we really had never seen before Shane introduced her to the internet. I think she was willing to be that vulnerable and that raw about stuff that she's doing in her life. I think she has gotten tied up and wrapped into the legacy of Shane Dawson, and so she can't kind of remove herself from that situation. I think it's interesting that she came out and she talked about Andrew and Garrett and then removed that clip from her video and then has never spoken about it again. I don't watch her, so I don't know. But anyway, I don't really take huge issue. People want me to take issue with Morgan Adams over her alliance with Shane Dawson. It's her brother-in-law. Like, what do you expect the girl to do? Like, I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm asking that question. Like, what do you expect her to do? Zachary Michael. Zachary Michael is another person that has been a very, very dear friend to me on YouTube. And in all honesty, I don't watch a lot of Zach's videos because I just don't know a lot. The battery is flashing at me. I don't know a lot about the Amberlynn Reid and the state of Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty and that stuff today. But Zachary is one of the most hilarious, intelligent, thought-provoking, kind people I've ever met in my entire life, and I consider him a good internet friend. I really like Zach a lot. So anyway, I'm going to do this again. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.